This video is going to be all about setting up your studio monitors. So 3 parts to this video. First part, how do you actually physically set them up? Second thing, we'll briefly touch a little bit on acoustic treatment around your room. And the third thing, we'll be using this tool I have in front of me. It's called Sound ID Reference from Sonarworks. And this is a tool that works, it's a software tool, but also this is a physical microphone that works with Logic Pro to give you a better reference to the mix or song you're working on. Full transparency here, this video is sponsored by Sonarworks. There is an affiliate link in the description. You can click on that and get a free 21-day trial. First section of the video is just setting up your studio monitors. Measure out an equilateral triangle from your ears. The size of the equilateral triangle will likely be dependent on the room you're in, right? Like the physical space that you can actually use in your room. You want to match the tweeter up to your ear. So raise the speaker up on your desk or on the stand and just visually align it towards your ear. You'll see if the tweeter is too low, you're going to visually see that, right? Your ears are at like kind of the mid-range of your head. If you just have speakers just placed on your desk, but they're kind of sitting below your head, that means the sound is like hitting your chest, right? And you're just not getting that solid reference. I was taught to set up your speakers in the longest section of your room. So if you have a rectangular room, choose the longest section of your room and set up your speakers that way. So the sound has more of a distance to go before it starts bouncing off everything. You can go one step further if you have the space in your room to back out your desk from the wall. The less you can have of that, the better. You don't always have the flexibility to do that if you're in a small room. Okay, second thing to this video, acoustic treatment, like the control room and the recording room is usually the same spot in home studios, musicians, houses. For me, that's the fact. I record in this room and I mix in this room. In studios, you would have those two things separated, right? So you need to acoustically treat your room to get good recordings, but also to get good reference sound from your speakers. Start on the corners of your rooms. Then you can start where the speakers are actually pointing. So like this speaker here, the sound is going to first like hit me, but it's also going to travel towards this wall here where I have treatment and towards that corner. Then you can also think of like ceiling and floor. Floor, easy, just put maybe a rug. The next thing would be like, what do you actually buy? Do you buy like the black foam? Do you buy specific acoustic treatment? Do you make your own? So you can look at tutorials on how to make your own if you're like budget focused. If not, you can also just order some online and hang those up on the wall. But to split the difference there, you can think of like the black foam as a treatment that's going to absorb and deflect high-end frequencies. The real absorption, though, of bass frequencies, you're going to want to have heavy absorption. Next thing is if you want to use or start the free trial to the Sonarworks Sound ID reference, at least to use in your headphones, it works right within Logic. So this is the plugin here. I put it on the last plugin on my stereo out channel strip. I'm going to mic the room up. Let's take a look now at how it interacts with my speakers. What this curve means is there's a black line here at 0 dB, which is the frequency response you do want. You want a flat sound, so you're hearing what is exactly coming out of your speakers, right? So you'll notice this is what my room sounds like. This is what is happening between the bouncing around that's happening in my room. I'm not getting a lot of, this could be about 80, between 80, 60, and 100. Getting a big dip in frequencies there, and I'm getting a big boom between 100 and maybe 400 here. So if this is 100% right, which is probably right, I wouldn't say 100% right. I'll get into maybe the more of the disadvantages and potential lookouts for it after with this tool. For all intents and purposes, let's just say it's 100% right. That would mean that this graph here, specific example, at 150 hertz, I'm getting more 150 hertz than I should be. So if I'm working on a bass sound or a synth sound or any instrument in that frequency range, I might push it too hard or I might push it too low because I'm perceived that it's getting pushed too hard. Same thing goes with anything that's dipping below that black line. So that's the pre-analysis. Now what Sonarworks does is they kind of just balance your frequency range with what is happening in your room. So my calibration here, if I put the calibration on and take the before off, this is what Sonarworks is doing. They're boosting these frequencies, dipping these frequencies at around between 100 and 400. I'm not really sure because I don't have a reference there, which is basically the opposite of what we just saw here. Like if I bring the before up, they're basically just mirrors opposites. Sonarworks is trying to bring you down to get a flat response to the target, which is the black line. With all that in mind, I'm going to be pulling up a song on Spotify here, Skeletons in Your Closet. So I'm just going to play the first chorus. I have right now, the calibration is disabled. So just kind of consume as much as you can from the frequency range of this.
You're not so perfect, couldn't walk a mile in my shoes. You got skeletons in your closet too. I know you're hurting. Try to
Calibration on, same part.
so perfect, couldn't walk a mile in my shoes. You got skeletons in your closet too. I know you're hurting. Try to tell the world you're so cool.
Now I'm going to go back and forth a little bit. Okay, calibration is off.
You're not so perfect, couldn't walk a mile in my shoes. You got skeletons in your closet too. I know you're hurting. Try to tell the world you're so cool. You got skeletons in your closet too. I'm learning. Now I found what I was missing. Never
Definitely sounds more clean. It does sound a little bit more processed to me. I just don't know how much I can believe because it's such a big dip here. Visually, it kind of scares me how much it is doing. It's up to me to measure it correctly. I did a pretty good job, but now I'm thinking, hey, did I do it wrong maybe? Did I point the microphone the wrong way? Did I always have it at the right ear height? So besides all that, another really cool thing here is you can have translation check and you can go and just look at other environments to listen to your mix in. Now, these are all software built, right? So you have to keep that in mind. But like a harsh sounding entry-level car, over-ear headphones, smartphones, studio speakers, TVs, lots of cool sound checks where you can see if your mix will translate across all of these devices. In general, I'm going to keep this on and play with it for the next 1 or 2 months to see how my mixes translate with this, working with this thing on. If you want to try the free software tool out, there is an affiliate link in the description. Just use it on your headphones and see what you think. Here's a video on 3 ways to make your drums punch more. And as always, I hope to see you in the next video.
But I'm more than you think. You're not so perfect, couldn't walk a mile in my shoes. You got skeletons